3. Hey y'all, Artist Poet Girl here, also known as APG Jamie, and today we're going to work on this cheer canvas. It's a big old canvas, y'all. I don't remember the measurements, but I'll try to remember to put it in the description box below. This is my inspiration piece. It's a photograph that I printed out that I took at the International Quilt Festival in Houston in November of 2017. I was very inspired by it. It just looked so much like Corrugate. I'm like, I want to do a Corrugate piece. So that's what I'm doing. And I'll have the information sheet about the artist that did that quilt coming up here momentarily. It'll be a photograph that I insert. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with this big old canvas. And I'm just going to use some white gesso. Now, technically, you don't have to gesso over these stretch canvases because they are gessoed. Okay, but I do because I want to put a texture in there. Also, another warning. Okay, here comes that picture of the artist that did the quilt. Oh, just love it. Okay, just saying, because it's true, because it just totally inspired me. So anyway, some of your canvases sometimes will have like a film of stuff. If you notice your paint not sticking, stop and wash the canvas off with a little bit of dish liquid and let it dry. Okay? Just saying. Otherwise, you'll keep painting it and then your paint will come off. In spots, anyway. But anywho, smearing around our gesso. And I'm putting, well, it's not really a thick coat. I will put some more on. It's not thin either. It's kind of medium, y'all. Kind of medium. It's enough that it puts, when I do run my little groovy tool, the groove tool, I did, it's in the description box too, that it will leave texture in there. I'm just picking out brush hairs because, you know, I thought I'd used this brush before, and I think I probably have. Actually, I'm real sure I have. It just leaves hairs. It's a hairy brush, y'all. So, just picking out hairs. And you don't have to pick them out. I mean, they will definitely throw some texture in there for you if that's what you're looking for. So here comes my little squiggly groove tool. I don't know. I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, and I have a paint rag in my hand there, and I'm wiping off the excess gesso because I don't want to smear it back on the canvas because I am deliberately making these grooves because it's going to look like Corrugate, y'all. I'm so happy. I just cannot tell you how happy I am. And this piece is going in the Conroe Art League spring show, which will be in April. Oh, it's coming up just in time. Look at that after. Oh, I loves it. So now let's put some colors on there. Now remember, we're going with Corrugate. Now I had this whole plan worked out. I drew up, you know, a little basis thing that I was going to kind of, you know, sort of do and add some oranges and some rustices and stuff like that in there. Okay? But truthfully, once I got to trimming out my little Corrugate pieces and laying them over there on the canvas, I thought, I love that, just like it is. So I didn't do any of that extra stuff. It was going to be elaborate, but no. It's simple, and I loves it. I really do. So when I finished filming this part, I didn't even realize I had filmed it. I thought I had accidentally hit photo instead of video because I'm using my cell phone here. Because, yeah, it won't fit on my desktop underneath my other camera. My Logitech. Logically speaking. So anywho, the thing I'm working on that's shaking a lot is a clothes drying rack I got from the Aldi's grocery store chain, and it was very inexpensive. I think it was between $15 and $20. Error on the side of 15. Okay, and it's really big. Both sides will fold out, and I use it to dry jelly prints and tea, coffee dye papers and stuff like that, just because it is nice and handy, y'all. And because I was putting the texture on there, I did not want to work on this canvas on an easel, just essentially because of the type of work I was doing with it. So hence the drying rack. It came in really handy. It's just a little jigglies, little jiggly wigglies. But that's how it goes sometimes. We won't talk about my belly jiggly wiggly. I am mixing Titan Buff, also known as unbleached titanium, unbleached titanium, or ecru for those who use from the olden days. It's ecru, white, ivory. Maybe it's what's that called? Old linen? I don't know. And that is a what color is that? Sienna, burnt sienna. I do believe it's burnt it. So I'm just smearing it around because that's what I want. I want a look that is darker in spots, lighter in spots, and it just makes me so stinking happy. I know I said that already. Maybe I didn't say that already exactly like that, but yeah. Now come back later on off camera and do the sides. Maybe. I don't remember. It's already put in the frame. I already got it framed, y'all. And the photo montage at the end, it is not in a frame. So yeah. But you'll see the whole live picture. It's big. Well, it's not the largest one I've ever done, but it's pretty big. It's the first time I'm kind of playing with the corrugate. Some folks call it cardboard box. It's corrugate. Cardboard is actually the flat paper board. Corrugate is the one with the ruffles like this. See? And here I am taking a piece of my corrugate and cutting it down to size so I can fit it on my tabletop here. I'm using scissors. I could have just as easierly used a craft knife or, some other kind of razor blade cutting knife. And I'm peeling off the paper. Now, to do this, see, I even put that in there. You can actually dampen this with a light mist of water in places, and it makes it a little easier to peel. But I loved how this was peeling and leaving a lot of the the paper, the brown paper on there. That's why I did not use water, because I liked it just like this. I'm peeling some, and then I'm going to leave some whole. Now, see, that was my diagram. So I'm going to kind of make my pieces look sort of like that. Some's going to get torn. Well, no, they're actually going to get cut because I couldn't tear it, y'all. I just couldn't do it. My hands and arms and strength just wouldn't let me do it. So I had to use the scissors. Oh, well. So, I wanted them kind of ragged out. I didn't want anything particularly straight, okay? Because that's just not what I'm going for. And when my hands and all kind of disappear, I'm laying them over there on the canvas, which is still on the drying rack. Well, not anymore at that time. At the time, I'm working on it, y'all. Pretend I'm working on it right now, as you see I'm doing. So I'm taking my pieces and laying them over there, and kind of playing around and deciding back and forth and stuff. And this might have been the part where I thought I was videoing, but I really wasn't. Or maybe I just thought I took a picture and I really didn't. You think you're confused? You should be on this end of the video. Okay. So there we go. See, I was laying them out. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to put some reinforcement underneath this piece. So I'm kind of drawing a line. So that's what I did. I'm like, okay, let me put some glue on there. I was using I was using gel medium, the gel medium. Clear. Because I wanted that piece to have some reinforcement, and I'm like, well, I just want another piece to get out there. So here I am using my Aleene's favorite glue to glue the pieces together. And then I used the gel to put them on the canvas after I put some matte medium on all the pieces, because I more or less wanted to seal them up. Okay, now I loved the color they were. When I put this matte medium on there, it did change the paper of my corrugate. The paper, it bless my heart, y'all, bless my heart. It changed the color of the corrugate. It made it deeper and richer, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I just liked it really being a little dustier looking. I don't know yeah, maybe a little dustier looking. Not as rich, okay? So, anywho, I do that with all the pieces, and I am trying to wiggle jiggle some of that matte medium inside the corrugate there, around the edges, underneath some of that paper. And here I am using the gel to actually adhere them onto the canvas. Now, what I wished I'd have done, hindsight, but I'm kind of experimenting here, so I and when you're in experiment mode, you don't necessarily always think things out. Well, I don't, because I'm no scientist. I just pretend to be one on YouTube. Anyway, if I had thought ahead of myself, before I'd adhered them down on the canvas, I would have put clear gesso on them, because just because. Well, no, because I'm getting out of order. I'm messing my story up. It's been too long since I shot the video. What I do, y'all, what I really, really do, and what you're going to see me do now that I'm crawfishing and changing my story, I glued them all down, and once they dry, because, this canvas took me a while, I come back with varnish, and it's a satin varnish, which means it's kind of shiny, but it's not shiny, okay? Because I wanted to get rid of some of my glossy gel things that etched out, so I put my varnish all over the canvas, including the cardboard. Then it was too shiny for me, so then I went back over the cardboard with clear gesso, all right, to dull the cardboard back down, and it worked pretty well. Makes me pretty happy. I just love this canvas. Now, the frame I had, you're not going to see the canvas or the frame. Here I am putting the varnish on, and I'm going in the direction, I know I just went opposite, but I end up going back into the direction of the grooves, because you want your brush strokes, your varnish brush strokes, to match your paint brush strokes. All right, it really makes a difference. I know that's not what the instructions say, but I'm just telling you, okay? You want your varnish to match your brush strokes. So anywho, I do all that, and after it all dries and sets up and all that good stuff, I put the clear gesso on just the cardboard, okay, and back to the frame. Someone needs to get a rope and tie these cats up. Oh my goodness. Anywho, I didn't like the frame. In my head, I thought, well, I'm just going to paint the frame red, because wouldn't that just be brilliant? Just to have this big old red frame around this big old corrugate thing. I'm like, yeah, baby. So as I was taking my frame and sanding it, because you got to prep it if you're going to paint. So you got to, sand it, rough it up, all that good junk. There it is. Ta-da! So I roughed up the frame and sanded it, and then I fell in love with the frame, and I'm like, ta-da! That's it. It's going to be finished. So these are my close-up photo montages. La, 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 makes me happy. I hope I get a ribbon. A first place ribbon would be brilliant. I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.